Leonardo da Vinci, so named because he was called Leonardo and he came from the city of Vinci, is rightly regarded today as one of the greatest geniuses who ever lived. But that great big brain came with some drawbacks. For Leonardo, it was the fact that nothing could hold his attention for any longer than about 12 seconds. For everybody else, it was, well, also that. As the Renaissance biographer and artist Giorgio Vasari wrote, "Truly marvellous and celestial was Leonardo, and in learning and in the rudiments of letters he would have made great proficience, if he had not been so variable and unstable. For he set himself to learn many things, and then, after having begun them, abandoned them." He seems to have been that kid who teaches fear, relentlessly interested in absolutely everything, and so bright that before you're done introducing them to a topic, they're already bombarding you with questions about it that you can barely understand, let alone answer. He was into art, maths, music, engineering, sculpture, you name it. And that boundless enthusiasm came out in doodles and drawings and sketches of anything that happened to cross his mind, which is to say, everything. By the time he was 14, his dad had evidently picked up on the fact that he needed an outlet for all that energy before he imploded or something, and he set Leo up with a job as a garzone, a studio assistant, for his artist friend Andrea del Verrocchio. This would prove to be either the best or the worst decision Verrocchio ever made, depending on how you look at it. On the one hand, he now had in his charge a brilliant young student to help him sculpt and paint better than he ever had before. But on the other, Leo apparently became so good that by the age of about 20, his edition of a little angel in Del Verrocchio's The Baptism of Christ was so much better than his master's that Del Verrocchio was moved to give up painting forever. This story, originally recorded by Vasari, is generally believed to be apocryphal, but it's a good one nonetheless. It is certainly true, though, that Leonardo collaborated with Del Verrocchio on certain paintings. It was pretty standard practice back then. Leonardo also modelled for Del Verrocchio on a few occasions. So if you want to see what a young Leo looked like, check out Del Verrocchio's statue of David in the Bargello Museum, Florence. Leonardo would stay with Del Verrocchio for a total of 10 years, meeting fellow future household names and Ninja Turtles, and perfecting the art of, well, art, until eventually, in his early 20s, he set out on his own. So, not long after he ruined his master's career by being too good at painting angels, he received his first commission, a picture of the Adoration of the Shepherds, the bit in the Bible where the shepherds come and coo at the baby Jesus, for the chapel of San Bernardo in the Piazza della Signoria, Florence. And this is where Leonardo, now free from the shackles of a boss who knew what a contract was, started becoming something of a menace. He was paid an advance for the piece, but only got as far as making a mock-up. After that, he gave up and never completed the commission. Lucky for him they didn't have Yelp back then, because the following year he was commissioned again, this time by the monks of San Donato a Scopeto. They wanted him to paint the Adoration of the Magi. See Adoration of the Shepherds, but replace shepherds with wise men. Again, Leonardo started the piece, and again, he never finished it. He got further than with the shepherds, but to this day you can see in the centre of the exquisitely composed scene that Mary, Jesus, and quite a few magi are all just kind of sketched in. If you ever see it, look at the guy on the right-hand side of the crowd. It's generally thought to be a self-portrait of Leonardo. And it's not like he ran out of time. He had been given a schedule of more than a year to complete the project, but he abandoned it after just 7 months.